Here with the lovely Kelly Reilly for Flight. Congratulations on the film, it's incredible.
Thank you.
It's such a unique role. I mean, Nicole, she's this character that you think should be falling apart. I mean, she has a substance abuse problem. There's this looming threat that she'll have to enter the sex industry to keep herself going. But she's a really good influence in the film, and she's kind of healthier than Denzel Washington's character. What's it like playing that duality, that role?
Lovely is something that actually what you just said is something that really intrigued me about her and attracted me to her, because like all of us, we're not one thing, you know, and how interesting to play somebody who actually has some inner strength but allows themselves or is victim to something like heroin and gets himself into such an awful place. Like, how can that happen? So that was what was interesting. She's strong. She has an inner strength. I think once she decides she's going to get better, and I think that she's basically, you know, she's so afraid. I think after nearly dying after the OD, that it wakes her up. It wakes her up to herself, and for some, she finds a way to get that strength to sort of walk out of it with AA.
Sorry, yeah, and tell me about your preparation, because I hear that you really examined and researched the habits of heroin addicts quite thoroughly. That sounds like harrowing research to do.
Well, I only knew cliches, and you know, I didn't really know anything really about it, so I had to go there a little bit. You know, I just spent a lot of time on Google and things like that, and then that wasn't enough, so I needed to talk to someone. I needed to know somebody to ask a lot of very sort of basic questions to somebody who had gone through being in the hold of that of heroin, and who managed to get out of it. Because what I learned was it's not many people make it out, especially women. She even says that, you know, especially when you start injecting. I mean, women, the survival rate of heroin users is not good. I think it's something scary, like sort of 90% die.
Wow.
So how does somebody get out of it? And I needed to speak to him and say, what did it feel like? But it wasn't just about the physical addiction to heroin. It was more about the crutch. It's just a symptom of a deeper sort of brokenness, like a damaged psyche almost. Like what is she trying to run away from? What's she trying to cover up? What's she not wanting to feel? And we find out that there is a heartbreak of her mother's death. And in one draft, you would find out that she, not that it's in our movie, but you find out that she started to use painkillers with her mum when she was dying of cancer. And that got her onto the road of using pills and things like that. And then that spiraled into using heroin.
And we see that idea with Denzel Washington's character as well, that his substance abuse problem is, you know, a symptom of something that's, you know, perhaps less explored explicitly than your character. But what's it like working with Denzel Washington? Because he seems like quite an internal actor in that he goes very intensely into the roles. I mean, when you're both playing these intense characters, what's that like on set?
Yeah, you can hear a pin drop mostly. I wasn't used to working on a set so quiet, you know. I kind of like a lot of chaos around me, and there usually is on low-budget English films. You know, you've got 5 minutes to shoot something, it's getting dark, and there's no money or time. So there was a lot more space for that. And at first it was slightly strange, I have to admit, because I found it a bit uneasing, but I got into it. I got into the fact that in America, they really embrace the actor. They embrace the craft in a way that isn't embarrassing or considered indulgent. I think people can take it to another level, which can be, but I'm not judging them. It's just a different way of working, and I liked the way, for this particular project and this subject matter, Denzel provided us all with a level of peace and quiet and quiet intensity.
Yeah, and before this, you seemed a little bit wary of LA and Hollywood, and you know, you've been quite outspoken about the fact that Hollywood doesn't always have incredibly strong characters for female actresses. But this one is a fantastic one. Do you feel that Hollywood is getting better, or is it just that you're choosing your roles very carefully?
I don't even know if I'm choosing roles. I don't think I'm at that point where I'm really, really choosing them. I mean, I suppose by saying no to some, you're choosing yes to others. So in that way, I choose. I think there are some really exciting female roles out there. I mean, there's still much less than men. But there are, I think it's coming. I think women are finding them, or even if they're not particularly written, brilliantly, there are so many brilliant female actors out there who are wanting to, infuse it with intelligence and vitality and emotional depth. And I see that now. And I think I was quite blasé about LA. I was very sort of, when I was a few years ago, and now I get to see that there are some really nice things happening over there, but it's a circus at the same time, so you have to be careful.
But you're doing well within the circus, so
thank you.
Absolute pleasure.